So let's say you made a mistake and you validated him too much. You told him you love him a little bit too soon. You kind of chased him when he pulled away. Whatever you consider too much validation, let's just assume that you did that. And what do you do once you do that? There is a way to recover, but it all depends on context, okay? So in this video, I'm gonna show you, and this is a regular mistake. If you love a guy, if you love a motherfucker, you're gonna do this mistake. It's just obvious. If you love somebody, you're gonna validate them too much sometimes because the emotions you feel towards somebody tend to be so intense that validation is something that just happens, okay? It's if you love somebody, it's just happened. You tend to validate them too much. So we gotta find out what to do. So look, the first thing is first. Validating a guy too much by mistake is not a mistake because it depends on the context. If he's been the one that's been chasing you for the whole time, if he's been the one that's been asking for your validation, and what I mean is this, is that he's not playing games, he's making it clear that he likes you. He's making it obvious. He's the one that's more open and you're the one that's more closed, right? So if you're validating him and that's the context around the validation, there's nothing wrong with that because it's actually a good thing, right? If somebody's open with you and they're putting themselves in a vulnerable position, to be honest with you, especially a man. Look, ladies, nowadays, women are cold as fuck, especially in New York City, you know what I'm saying? So if you do that and he opens up to you and then you validate him too much, that's just your own insecurity. You know, you're so afraid to lose him that you don't want to make any mistakes. In that occasion, if he has shown you that he likes you in a very obvious way, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing, okay? So open up to him. You can tell him that you love him. If he told you he loves you, or even if he's been doing things that shows you that he loves you, there's nothing wrong with at least taking the initiative. If he's making it obvious with his actions, I mean, Lord, if he's taking you to his grandma's funeral, fucking, if he's taking you to all that shit, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. There's nothing wrong with taking a risk to say you love him. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If he's really putting in the effort, it's obvious even to your fucking dead grandma, okay? Now look, if you've been the one that's been chasing, if you've been the one that's been looking for his validation, if you've been the one that were complaining, if you were the one that texts him all the time, if you're the one that feels you need to see him every day, if you're the one that feels anxiety at the thought of losing him, we gotta take some steps because sometimes if you feel that anxiety, if you feel like whether or not he likes you and you're not sure, when somebody likes you, it's fucking obvious, okay? But when somebody doesn't like you, it's not obvious and you feel that anxiety. If you're in that situation, then we gotta fix it. Why? Because anytime you feel that way, that anxiety of whether or not he likes you, it could be insecurity, but a lot of the times it's because they're doing something that's causing you to feel that way. So it all depends on the past. That's the first one. It depends on the context of the situation, okay? So if you know that you're the one that's been chasing him and you validated him too much, whatever you think the fuck that is, okay? It's whatever you think it is. Then you gotta do the next step, okay? Before anything, by the way, this is me. I painted this. You guys can purchase these. You guys been buying it. I'm looking at it. You guys are buying it. You guys can purchase this. I have t-shirts, everything for sale based on my paintings. You guys can purchase it in the description down below on Teespring, okay? Purchase it or else you know exactly what I'll do to the channel if you don't do it, okay? So the second thing, see what happens. If you validated him, does he get cocky or does he get closer to you? All right, so let's just say you love him or you're texting him a lot, right? Notice what happens. Do you notice that he pulls away or does he get closer to you, okay? Now, when I say pulls away, I mean that all of a sudden he stops texting you as much. All of a sudden he starts canceling. All of a sudden he starts demanding you to suck his dick without doing anything. Trust me, it happens, right? You're giving but not receiving anything in return, right? If you're in that, if you're pretty much a pushover and you become more of a pushover when you open up, then this person doesn't care about you. Cause he clearly sees the imbalance and he doesn't care. Jesus Christ, man. It sounds like me, man. I swear to God, I feel like such a horrible person sometimes. You see, you are toxic. I'm aware of it. Calm down, Melissa. Jesus Christ, man. Now, if he does get closer to you, at you telling him that you love him, or opening up, or he validates you, and in the process of you validating him, he validates you, then the next step is always, and I'm sorry, it depends on the context, but it's always to pull away. Anytime you validate a guy, always pull away, right? So if he doesn't get cocky at you opening up, still pull away a little bit. I'm not asking, like just one little of salt. That's all, just a little bit, right? But if this motherfucker, all of a sudden, if you validate him, all of a sudden he starts acting like Wesley Snipes, you put away like a motherfucker, man. You put the whole goddamn salt on him, right? Why? Goddamn, that I made a mess. See what I did? Why? Because your level of pulling away depends on the level of interest. But that doesn't mean that if he's really interested, you never pull away. You pull away a little bit based on how much he likes you. The less he likes you, the more you pull away. It's how it works. Now, if the problem that I have, every time you validate him, he pulls away. Like at 2 or 3 times you validated him, you give him a gift or whatever, and he gets cocky and he starts canceling and he gets bored. This person doesn't like you. As long as you've been together, as much as he tells you he loves you, if every time you pull away, you gotta do a big pull away, it's a problem. Now, what's a big pull away? That means that if you tell him that, let's just say that you gave him a gift and you're hanging out with him every day, and all of a sudden he doesn't want to see you for like a whole week. All of a sudden he's busy. All of a sudden for the next week or 2, right? And let's just say that's not normal. Let's say you see each other 3 times a week, and now all of a sudden the last 2 weeks he's been busy. For the next 2 weeks also you're gonna be busy. You're not gonna text him as much. You're gonna take 4 to 5, 6, 7 hours to respond now. Your texting are gonna be a little cold, and you might say, Alexis, but doesn't that make him pull away even more? No. Because if he likes you, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna activate anxiety. Because sometimes they're playing games. So if he likes you, you'll notice that he'll feel anxious out of reaction to you pulling away. But if he doesn't like you, he has too much of an ego to chase you. He has, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you don't care about somebody, you rather forget them, right? But if you really care about somebody, sometimes you consciously care about them, and sometimes you unconsciously care about them. And the only way for you to consciously know how much you care is to see them pull away. It's almost like you think you don't love your parents until they die, and then you realize, holy shit, I love them, right? That's what I mean by unconsciously pulling away. And when somebody unconsciously cares about you, and the reason why is because they're taking you for granted because you let them take you for granted. You made them feel like they don't need to do anything to keep you there. You get what I'm saying? So to keep them consciously loving you, you have to always do a little bit of pulling away. It's like water to a plant. You gotta consistently do that. You may not think it's necessary, and you may think it's manipulative, but it's just human nature. And we're playing with human nature here. If you don't do this, naturally this is gonna happen. Even in relationships where they love you 100% unconditionally, they still get bored a little bit. So it's necessary to do it from time to time. It's not a big dose, but if you have to do this at a big dose all the time, where you have to take 2 weeks off because you took 2 or 3 weeks off, if he consistently does that, this person doesn't like you and he's settling. And that's why he's with you, because he feels like it's the best that he could do, right? And he gets bored of you and he needs space. Somebody who loves you does not need that kind of space, because the chemistry between both of you guys is so addictive. It's so addictive that even if you don't feel the high anymore, he needs to be with you just to feel normal, right? So now, what kind of pulling away you could do? Like I said, the texting part, you know, you're a little cold. And let's just say you live together. Bitch, get out the fucking house, okay? The fuck you call me, bitch? Calm down, Jesus Christ, I'm just talking to you, man. Get out the house, go take a class, go to the gym, talk good about the gym, talk good about how people are in shape. So that's if you live with him, you just spend less time at home. If you normally do work at home, do work in a cafeteria. You know, tell him how you met a fucking personal trainer. No, Tyrone is not in this video, okay? Tyrone, he's chilling. He took the day off, okay? But what I'm trying to say is that if you live with him, it's a little hard to pull away. So you could just like how can I say is, you could just act uninterested in sex sometimes. You could dress sexy, but be uninterested for like a week or so. But what I'm trying to tell you is that if he has a history, you having to pull away to get him back after you validate him, right? After, and there's nothing wrong with a guy wanting space, okay? Let me just get that out the way. There's nothing wrong with a guy wanting space, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you don't see him in a week, it's okay. I don't see a problem with a week. I really, personally, I don't see a problem in a week. But if you guys have been together for a while and he needs a week or two, and he needs like a week or two of space and he's giving you the bullshit, that's disrespectful, okay? Another way is that if you're noticing that he's consistently having to pull away and you gotta do this, just break up with the motherfucker. I'm sorry, break up with him. Break up with him. What do you mean consistently? I mean that you can't open up to this nigga. You can't be honest with him and without him pulling away. If that's the case, break up. You're wasting your fucking time. This guy does not like you, and even though it looks like it's something, it's always breaking down at the moment you open up. This is not how relationships work. A healthy relationship doesn't require all of this. It just requires a little bit of it. You get what I'm trying to say? I really hope this makes sense. If you guys need one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org for coaching in the description down below.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get out. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you can read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you can pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.